Oh my God, Nigel, guess what? Something huge has happened. Now, for those people that are watching and think that you might have apologised to the grooming gang survivors who you misrepresented in your press conference 32 days ago, it's not that. You still have ignored them, as have the rest of the media as well. The fanfare even wasn't for the fact that Reform have fallen considerably in yet another poll. And the hypothetical Westminster voting intention that you love to share with everybody, especially the one normally done by Find Out Now, which has always been a bit of an outlier in saying how well Reform are doing in the polls, even they are saying you're not doing so well at the moment. No, this is the good news, Nigel. The petition, the one that's demanding that Parliament actually debates whether there should be a public inquiry into Russian influence on UK politics and democracy. And look, it has surpassed the number of signatories, which means that Parliament have to debate it. And you know the bit that should really bother you the most? It's this heat map, the map that says where most of the people were that signed the petition. Because look where they were. Yeah, my homeland in Wales, which is the place where you think you're going to be running the Senedd next year. Turns out the Welsh really are bothered by the fact that the former leader of Reform in Wales, Nathan Gill, was found to be a Russian asset. Look, there he is with his mugshot. So just to remind you, Nigel, this was the person that you first claimed you didn't know, but then said, oh yeah, no, I've known him for years and I was really surprised. But even though he was a senior member of your team and somebody who had been with you for donkey's years, and in fact had been a really good friend of yours. Now, he was saying the same stuff as you were saying over in Brussels, but apparently he was getting paid by Putin to say it. Whereas you seem to just be saying it for free. But the judge, when he was summing up, said that the harm that Nathan Gill had done was profound, fundamentally compromising the integrity of his position as an MEP in order to get some rubles off Putin. And even though you keep saying that Nathan Gill was just one bad apple, I'm beginning to think you've got a fucking orchard there. And the thing is, Nigel, the people all interconnected are still working for Reform today. Take Mark Reckless here, out today canvassing. There he was back in the day with you and, oh, that's right, Criminal Nate. Speaking of bloody criminal, did you see this article in the Telegraph? You know, you write for the Telegraph as your employers. Even they're saying now Brexit an unmitigated disaster for us. And I know you tell the members of your cult with an L that it's because it was the wrong sort of Brexit, but it's more and more evident there was never a right sort of Brexit. Going back to my homeland, who I'm very proud of at the moment, the media there are really scrutinising you because, of course, you're saying that you should be the leading party in the Senedd next year. But the more they scrutinise you, the more you fall apart. And in fact, the more threats you make. So much so that the Journalists' Union are now condemning Reform for their attacks on Welsh media. But Nigel, I thought you wanted to be transparent. I thought you really believed in free speech. But you've never been in support of free speech, have you, Nigel? You've only ever been in support of free speech for you. But it's fascinating watching the wheels fall off Reform just when you thought you were just about to crack it. Like the fact that 20 people have stepped forward now and spoken about how horrifically fascist you were as a child has really gathered a bit of momentum. And for all the people that say it doesn't matter because it was years ago, that's a bit dense, isn't it? Because actually your entire narrative for your entire political career has been racist. In fact, the Jewish community have picked up on your anti-Semitism several times. You're forever spreading anti-Semitic tropes and spewing Putin's propaganda, you know, around things like Soros and the World Economic Forum. All of that all sort of ties into this idea that you seem to have that the Jews are responsible for everything, which is a bit anti-Semitic, isn't it, Nigel? Which is what you're being accused of 40 years ago, but you still are now. But look, Nigel, I know you're going through a hard time. So congratulations on the sale of these celebration shirts going so well. At 350 quid a pop, apparently you are raking it in. Now, I hope you're sitting down for the next bit, Nigel, because I think there might be a spot of bother ahead with these shirts. You see, with the shirts comes a golden lottery ticket. The winner of the lottery ticket gets to get lunch with you. I don't see that as a win, but I'm sure the people that are prepared to pay £350 on one of your shirts consider that to be a great win. So this has been registered as a small society lottery. It's promoted by Paul Nuttall. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say maybe Paul Nuttall isn't your most reliable person. Sit down for this next bit, Nigel, because whilst things seem all above board, this lottery is registered with Westminster City Council. It's registered as a small society lottery. But the criteria for a small society lottery is actually quite stringent. The society has to be non-commercial, has to be for charitable purposes. The one thing it can't be is for private gain. The thing is, though, a political party cannot meet the legal definition of a non-commercial society. You see, my hunch is that you believe that now that Reform is a not-for-profit organisation, you meet the criteria. Because as I keep saying, you are surrounded by people who are not very good at details. So your not-for-profit status doesn't make you eligible to run a small society lottery. In other words, I think there's a bit more trouble ahead for you. Good chats, as you were.